William Pierce. Rhett Shull was here playing with Jesse Wilson. They were opening for Al Green at the Greek Theater. And it went great. It was kind of a dream come true for him. So he and his wife Tilly came over the next day and we played together. What Rhett admits freely that a lot of us don't admit so freely is that a lot of our rhythm concepts come from the edge and they just get kind of morphed and bent into our own styles. So I found a piece of music on Rhett's YouTube channel that I fell in love with. And he talks about his influences and the way he takes effects to design a sound that actually creates and suggests a particular part. I took 3 of the Edge and U2's most iconic guitar parts, and over Rhett's song, I created my own parts based on those concepts. What follows is a great conversation with Rhett about this subject, including talking about how we use David Gilmour in this regard for soloing. Also, there's a spontaneous jam that happened where everything just turned out kind of just right. It was kind of magical. Click the link below if you want to check out the Masterclass. We're up to over 100 hours of lessons and content. There is also a link below for Rhett's YouTube channel. It's awesome. So here's the Edges part on Sunday Bloody Sunday. Here's my part. Now, my part is very different. One of the similarities is I use 2 open strings, but I changed the open strings from the G and the D to the D and the A. Here's Pride in the Name of Love. So here's my version of this kind of wall of sound constant part. That's nice.
I need to get one of those, man.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
So bad.
I don't know why I thought of that with you. I thought, it's because the one thing I didn't hear on this track.
So I started playing guitar, I was like probably 13 or 14 because of Hendrix. I found Hendrix as a kid. And then not long after that, you start exploring and I actually found Pink Floyd, and because a friend of mine gave me a copy of The Wall. And so it's like a 14-year-old kid listening to The Wall for the first time. I mean, it was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So started listening to a lot of Gilmour's playing, and then through Gilmour somehow found out about U2 and The Edge. And, I think Jimmy Page put it the best in that documentary, It Might Get Loud. He called The Edge a sonic architect. And that's my favorite way I've ever heard a musician described, especially the Edge, because it's the best term I think there is for him. It's just he is a sonic architect. My favorite thing about Gilmour's lead playing is It's the right note at the right time, and it's nothing more. I mean, Gilmour just in general is that way. You know, he's not gonna shred your face off.
Yeah.
But those solos are so iconic, and those lead parts are so iconic because they're simple, and to an extent they're singable. And I think the Edge is the same way too. Like, you know, on Sunday Bloody Sunday, the Edge is using so much in the way of like reverb and delay that you really the tone becomes part of the part.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have to adjust what you're playing and the way you're playing it to let the effect do its job.
The effect and the sound create the part. Like, you play a certain way based on the way the thing is set up.
Yeah, letting the effect inform your part. So when it comes to actually coming up with a part like that, the way I do it is find a sound that I like. Like we've got this tone pulled up here, and so I might get a sound pulled up and then start messing around with, start coming up with like. Yeah.
Let's play together. That was magical, man.
Yeah. So a lot of those parts were pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't, you know, doing all Lydian augmented, whatever. It was all diatonic, triad based, pentatonic based kind of stuff. But, and I think in the context of a more ambient sort of open tone like that, it works.
A lot of times when I do arpeggios, I choose the upbeats.
One of my favorite things to do too, and I actually did a video about this, talking about delay. Those delay repeats are kind of layered underneath what's happening in the guitar.
Yeah.
And it's just adding to the overall tone. If you add some modulation in there, like a tape delay or like a Memory Man or something would do, that modulation is adding width to your tone as well, and adding weight. And it's making your guitar sound bigger than it actually is.
Yeah. I mean, I use delays to make the guitar float. And a lot of the times I'll even disguise it so you don't hear the delay. So if you play constantly... And these delays are modulated. That's the thing. I'm crazy about modulating delays. So what happens is you get that thickness and that width, but you don't hear the trail necessarily. I'm not hiding the trail. It's just making the guitar float. And I think that's a different way of saying the same thing you're talking about.
Yeah. I see a lot of guitar players will want to know, okay, what's the exact BPM so I can dial it into my delay? And I actually don't like to do that. What I like to do is actually tap the tempo in a little bit off, so that you do hear those repeats coming through.
Well, there was a point where all we had on all our pedal boards was the Memory Man. Okay? And the Memory Man didn't even have that much of a delay time. It did not have a tap tempo. And it was exactly what you're talking about. Because it was always off. You would just set it to be sympathetic. It would just be somehow sympathetic. So there might be a gallop that happens like dum ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. And it worked great. That's exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, getting back to the Edge, man, a lot of those iconic parts were that way. It wasn't, I mean, the Memory Man wasn't dialed in exactly to the right BPM. They got it close, but you know, that knob is, you know, it's, you can't get it. And so I think that is something that's lost nowadays. And I think that's the important thing here is like, you know, when it comes to coming up with parts, a lot of times get the tone first and the tone will inform what you play. Try the whammy. Okay.
So redo the slide part for me, okay?
Yeah.
Sounds great doubled.
I probably should have doubled it in the track. I didn't even think about it. I also haven't played that in probably 6 months or something since I made the video. So
sounds beautiful, man.
Yeah.
But you know, it reminds me, I played on a Goo Goo Dolls song called Iris.
Yeah.
And I did that exact same approach in the solo.
I did not realize that was you that played that.
It's me, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I grew up on that song.
Well, there you go.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a kindred spirit.
Yeah, man. That's very cool, actually. Yeah, I didn't realize that you had done that.
It's very much kind of the same thing. I took a matchless in. They actually hired me to come play mandolin on it. And I thought, I'm not going to show up at a rock session for the Goo Goo Dolls with this little case and a mandolin. So I actually, without telling them, I actually had my full rig delivered because I thought maybe I can horn in on some electric guitar. And I was able to do that solo in addition to the mandolin.
Tim, that's awesome, man.
Thanks.
That is so cool. Yeah, I think like for this, I just wanted to do something that was, a lot of my favorite guitar parts and solos are ones that you can sing.
Right.
And sound vocal.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I think that means playing simply.
Yeah.
And playing less.
Yeah, but you and I have a lot of very similar tastes.
Yeah.
With regards to music and sonics and parts.
Yeah. Well, like I said, man, it's we were talking earlier, and you've been a big inspiration to me since I found you on YouTube like 5 years ago. So it's awesome to be here, man.
Come back soon.
I will.
Next time you come to LA, the sun will be shining. I promise.
Yeah.
It's like Ireland around here.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Come back.